welcome to our first Visit Bakersfield webinar. So thank you for joining us on this lovely Tuesday morning. Today we'll be taking you on a virtual museum trail. And so we'll be highlighting 4 of our Bakersfield Museum attractions, which are the Bakersfield Museum of Art, the Buena Vista Museum of Natural History and Science, the California Living Museum, and the Kern County Museum. Our wonderful guest speakers will include a representative from each museum, and they will share information on current safety guidelines, new operating hours, the museum highlights, any attractions, and possibly any upcoming events with everything happening now. But after all the 4 speakers have shared their information, we'll open up for questions at the end of the webinar, and you can submit all the questions through the Q&A feature here on Zoom. And we'll also have a quick poll, so be sure to look for that at the end of the webinar. So without further ado, we want to welcome our first speaker. She's the Executive Director of the Bakersfield Museum of Art. Let's welcome Amy Smith.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Great. Like Evangelina said, my name is Amy Smith. I am the Executive Director of the Bakersfield Museum of Art. Oh, this was not, let's run the actual slides. Okay, I think you should be able to see them now. I've been Executive Director now for about 4 years. The institution has been around for well over 60 though, so we're very proud to have an art museum locally here in Bakersfield. The artwork that you see here currently is by an artist named Anne-Marie Rousseau. This is a piece in our permanent collection. And she once said, "The lines are a journey. The lines are a crossing. The lines are a skein, a web, a window, a way, a following to the end and to the beginning." The Bakersfield Museum of Art really strives to enhance the quality of life of art appreciation and educational opportunities for visual arts in Bakersfield. Like I said, we've been around for well over 60 years, and we do not only outstanding exhibits, but unique educational opportunities for Bakersfield, for our surrounding communities, and of course, all of our visitors. I've put our mission up here, which essentially is to inspire and engage diverse audiences by providing a broad spectrum of creative and visual arts experiences through the exhibition and preservation of fine art, education programs, community outreach, and special events. What you may not know is that the Bakersfield Museum of Art was actually founded as the Cunningham Memorial Art Gallery in 1956. It was administered by the Bakersfield Art Association and co-governed by the City of Bakersfield City-appointed Art Commission. At that time, it was primarily a local artists' gallery. In 1986, the Art Association and the city agreed to dissolve that commission and establish the Bakersfield Art Foundation, which still exists. But in 1990, the foundation changed the name of our actual building to the Bakersfield Museum of Art, retaining the Cunningham name for its largest gallery. Now you may wonder, who is Cunningham? Well, that is Marion Osborne Cunningham. She was the eldest child of the Walter Osborne family and an extremely gifted painter. Her artwork could be found on luxury steamships, in the wallpaper at the San Francisco Fairmont Hotel, and she also is credited for helping to save the famous San Francisco trolleys that we still get to enjoy. Her most famous thing, though, was in the 1930s, the silkscreen prints that she created of iconic images of life in the Bay Area. Unfortunately, she died early in 1948. While traveling to Europe, she fell ill and unfortunately passed away of a brain tumor. But through the donation of her work, her memory lives on with a continual display at the museum. These are a couple of her pieces that you can see here. We are very proud to say that we are the collecting institution for her work, and so whenever a piece becomes available, usually we get first dibs on the donation of it. So we're super grateful to be able to that. And if you can see behind me right now, you'll see that I actually have a few of the pieces in my office. So I get the the benefit of that. This is the actual layout of the building itself. In 1997, we purchased the building from the city of Bakersfield and expanded our construction in 2000. In 2001, we became the 17,000 square foot building that you see here. It included the addition of 2 more galleries, 2 education classrooms, administrative offices, and a banquet facility. We also have a very large sculpture garden that holds about 10 sculpture pieces. And you may have been here before, as we are a rental venue for many weddings, both indoors and outdoors. Here's a few images of the museum itself. We have our iconic Lottie John Dill wall that you'll see here. The museum is proud to be the only American Alliance of Museums accredited museum within 100 miles. This is the highest national recognition afforded to the nation's museums. There are about 33,000 museums in the United States, and only about 1,000 of us are actually accredited. And we are one of 74 museums in California and the only one in the southern San Joaquin Valley. The museum itself collects and curates exhibitions that focus on California art and artists from the 20th century to the present. We have about 400 works in our permanent collection, and our board a number of years ago made the strategic decision to continually highlight these works as much as possible, as well exhibiting California art and artists. Here are some of the highlights from our previous exhibitions. In May of 2019, we unveiled our summer exhibitions, which included the biannual Visual Arts Festival, which is a small works juried exhibition where any artist who lives in California can participate. Platinum, which was a photography exhibition from Doug Bush and E.F. Kitchen that uses the platinum printing process. And you may wonder what that means. Essentially, a platinum print is made by placing the negative and the emulsion-coated paper in direct contact. Therefore, the size of the print is equal to the size of the negative. And we actually had one of the cameras that they used here, and it was about 6 feet tall. The last of our exhibitions was Golden State. Those were pieces from our permanent collection that really illuminated the diverse and vivid landscape of California life. In fall of 2019, we had 3, again, new exhibitions. We had Of the Sea, which were paintings from Natalie Arnoldi, who is an artist and marine scientist living here in California. Arnoldi makes large-scale oil paintings depicting a myriad of subjects, usually with some sort of environmental narrative. And this image that you see here is actually of Gigi, and she was about 23 feet long. Bakersfield Built was a highlight of the architecture of the 1960s. Bakersfield, as you know, is pretty well known for our innovative contributions to music, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but it's really less recognized in other arts. So the Bakersfield Built exhibition revealed a modernist design legacy worthy of celebration and recognition, and included tours of homes that were built in the 1960s, including Frank Lloyd Wright's Ablin House, located here in Bakersfield. And finally, Cuyama. Those were photographs from Noe Montez. Noe grew up in a family of migrant farm workers that traveled up and down this California Central Valley following the harvests. But for the last 25 years, he's developed a socially engaged practice, which he creates documentary work around a specific social issue or location, which in this case was the Cuyama Valley. In January of 2020, just a few months ago, although it seems like forever ago with COVID, we opened 3 new exhibitions. Our One Night in California Contemporary Nocturnes. This was in partnership with the Chris Winfield Gallery in Carmel. Nocturne paintings ultimately explore a subject as it appears in a veil of light or the absence of direct light. Black and White, which were photographs from the Julie Regal and Suzette Cleroux collection. These are sisters who grew up here in Bakersfield and have been collecting black and white photography since the 1970s. These works, before being displayed, had never been displayed before coming here to the museum. There are 25 pieces on display, and they really are an outstanding representation of significant photographic works that have been created over the last century. And finally, Texture. Texture was a continuation of a series of exhibits that we began with an exhibition called Line in winter 2018. Texture in art is situated between the tactile and the optical. It presents a group of artists that employ texture within a diverse range of applications and intentions. And then COVID hit, as we all know, and this caused the museum to really close unexpectedly, and we had to revise our exhibition schedule. So we continued our One Night California exhibition and our black and white shows, but we kept working towards the completion of our artworks exhibition, which actually opened on July 1st for one whole day until we were unfortunately have to close again. But this exhibition will continue here at the museum through August. So hopefully we're going to be able to reopen and visitors will have a chance to see our students' hard work. So what is Artworks? Artworks is our high school mentoring program for students who wish to pursue a career in the arts. It began here at the museum in 2008, and we select through a competitive application process 12 to 15 high school junior and senior students annually. They meet with us January through May, typically, and then we really focus on developing and enhancing their artistic skills while providing them with a variety of discussions, guest speakers, presenters, artists. Usually there's a field trip to LA museums involved. And it all culminates in an art exhibit designed by the students at the museum every summer. So right now, unfortunately, I get the benefit, because I'm the only one here in the building, of looking at our beautiful exhibitions. These are Memoirs of Illusion, the selected artwork students, One Night in California, Contemporary Nocturnes, Black and White, the photographs from Julie Regal and Suzette Claroux, and our Fresh from the Vault, selections from our museum's permanent collection. We really certainly hope that we're going to have a chance to reopen, but that's why we all need to wear masks right now. But we are really working towards and very excited about our fall 2020 exhibition scheduled to open on September 24th. So everybody needs to be good out there. Roll out the red carpet, the Bakersfield Sound. It will explore characters, styles, and aesthetics of iconic California country. The roots of this movement began with the Great Dust Bowl migration between 1935 and 1940, where more than 200 migrants from Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, and a variety of other southern states streamed into California, many of them settling right here in the San Joaquin Valley. Bound to their southern roots, yet influenced by their proximity to the Los Angeles area, artists such as the Maddox Brothers and Rose, shown here, Merle Haggard, and Buck Owens and the Buckaroos defined a sound and style uniquely their own. This exhibit will highlight stage costumes, guitars, album covers, film footage, while bringing insight to the melding of cultures, styles, and motivations iconically associated with the Bakersfield Sound. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that we have a great partnership with the Kern County Museum, also on this call, and we're actually borrowing a number of their pieces from their collection. So thank you, Kern County Museum, for being our partner on that. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Via Arte, our Italian street painting festival. We have been told by the marketplace that we are going to be able to return in the fall. I don't know what it's going to look like, but please mark your calendars for October 17th and 18th. It is the largest public art event that Bakersfield does, and we certainly hope that however this looks, that you will plan to join us in October at Via Arte. Some of the museum's upcoming exhibitions include Ruminations, paintings from Linda Christensen, which is in the upper left-hand corner. Art Sherwin, who is a local retired art educator, and his new works that he's been creating. In summer 2021, Helen Lundenberg will have a survey of her work here. That's an example in the bottom left-hand corner. We will return with our every other year Visual Arts Festival. In fall 2021, we have the opportunity of showing the Joan and Jack Quinn collection. These again are works that have never been shown in public together, and we're very proud that they've allowed us to be able to display their incredible collection of photography. And of course, we will bring back our artworks again. Some of the programs that we do here at the museum when we are allowed to open are our very popular Art After Dark. This is one of our premier after-hours art experiences, and it's in its 5th year. It includes community art projects, live music, unique performances, and of course, cocktails from some of the most popular Bakersfield bars and restaurants, and much more. We also participate in downtown Bakersfield's second Saturday through a lecture series where we have special guest artists and behind-the-scene views of art programs and exhibitions. And finally, we partner with White Wolf Wellness Foundation to provide free community yoga and meditation programs here at the museum. These really explore the multiple facets of what yoga, wellness, and mindfulness can be. So if you're interested in learning more about the museum, you can visit our website, and I've put that here. It's bmoa.org. You can also follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the BMOA. As we've mentioned, unfortunately, we are temporarily closed, but we do have a variety of opportunities online for you to visit us remotely. When we can come back, we will be open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are closed on Sundays and Mondays. We're also closed for all major holidays. Normal general admission, our members are free, of course, which always encourages people to join as a member. Adults are $10, students and seniors are $5, and children under 5 are free. You can subscribe to our e-newsletter, which is a weekly publication that not only includes original content that our staff has been creating since the pandemic, but also includes unique insights and explorations of visual arts. So please consider visiting us. We have a variety of programs that we participate with that allow people to come either at no cost or low cost. That includes First Friday, which in participation with Downtown Bakersfield's First Friday events, we not only extend our hours to 8:00 p.m. on the first Friday of every month when we're open, but admission is free for everyone on that day. We also participate in Bank of America's Museum on Us, where if you are a Bank of America credit or debit card holder, you can get a free admission on the first full weekend of each month. Museums for All is a program for people who have the free or reduced food assistance, and all you need to do is show your SNAP card to be able to come in for that. And then we do have reciprocal, not only with NARM, which is the North American Reciprocity Museums Program, but we also participate in reciprocity with the other museums that are going to be highlighted this morning. So I thank you so much for the time and helping me to visit a little bit about the Bakersfield Museum of Art. As Evangelina said, there'll be an opportunity at the end to answer any questions that you might have, but we certainly hope that you'll visit us online, subscribe to our newsletter, and follow us on social media. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Amy. We're definitely looking forward to those upcoming exhibits. Hopefully we get to see those. All right, our next speaker is Executive Director of Buena Vista Museum of Natural History and Science, Coral Henkrich.
Okay, my name is Coral Henkrich. I'm the Executive Director of Buena Vista Museum of Natural History. We're in our 25th year of celebrating, helping the museum, helping our community with through the museum with science activities and natural history. We are open Monday or Thursday through Saturdays. We're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and Sundays we're open 12 to 4. However, we are also closed due to the COVID pandemic going on right now, and hope to be open soon when it is safe. The museum started as a repository for Sharkteeth Hill fossils, which is a local area here in just about 15 miles northeast of Bakersfield. And we were the repository for those fossils that were coming from there that were 14 to 16 million years old. We've grown since then, and in the past 25 years, it's become, we cover a lot here, and we're the only museum in Central California that covers anthropology, archaeology, anatomy, astronomy, biology, geology, and paleontology all under one roof. Plus, we also have a discovery center, mainly designed for kids. So this morning, I'm going to briefly go through things here and just show you, starting with our African and Asian animals. This is a very diversified collection. Everything in this collection that you see was a real animal at one time, with the exception of the elephant. And here's a couple more views from the floor. Antelopes there, lion to your right, some more. Beautiful leopard. Then we move on to our Sharkstooth Hill area, where we have a cast of a Megalodon jaw. That jaw is huge. As you can see, the other cast of the shark inside there is a juvenile great white. And so you can see the difference in comparison. For every 10 feet of shark, there's 1 inch of tooth. We have teeth that are up to 6 to 7 inches, which means that was approximately a 60 to 70 foot shark. Here's some more teeth. You can see the Megalodon teeth here. These are great white teeth over here to the far left. These are Mako shark teeth and a variety of other shark teeth. Some more teeth, and then we also have some teeth from a Desmostylus. This is just a small bit of our collection. We also have a couple murals, actually quite a few murals throughout the museum, done by paleo artist Ben Nafis, depicting the Sharkstooth Hill area, Bakersfield area during the Miocene epoch. The land was very lush, very tropical. We had volcanoes erupting, we had very warm weather. The ocean water that was here was very warm. And as you can see to the right, the ocean was very plentiful. We had sea lions and whales and dolphins, and of course the big Megalodon right here coming in for a little snack for lunchtime there. I used to tease that this is cross traffic on Chester Avenue 14 million years ago. Here we have an ALLODESMUS. This is the ancestor to our modern day sea lion. And then we actually have the actual skull from a sea lion. We have several of those, but this is a great example of his big gnarly teeth that he has. A sperm whale skull and a baleen skull, and those are both on display. The baleen, we actually have a full complete baby baleen whale. North American animals are on our mezzanine, and that includes black bears, caribou, the lynx. We have sheep, deer, ducks. We've got a great assortment of North American animals. Again, here you've got another bear, cougar, and the caribou. Dinos are on the upper floor of the museum, and on the upper floor we have a full-size Chasmosaurus. We have the head of a Triceratops. And we have a cast of a velociraptor that is full size. This actually was used as one of the models for Jurassic Park. In addition, we have lots of different fossils that come from the different dinosaurs from all over the United States. This is a Mosasaurus. We did have these here because they were swimming in our water. If any of you remember, there was a movie a few years ago. This guy was a pretty terrifying creature, cross between a snake and a crocodile. We also have a collection of teaching scrolls that were done by Alfred von Zittel, who was considered the father of paleontology. These are very large scrolls. Most of them are about 5 by 8 foot. Some of them are larger than that. We have 10 of them, and they're pretty exciting to look at the different parts and then be able to see the fossils also that go along with them. This is a mural depicting the Ice Age and one of the Ice Age bear fossils from that time period. We also have a very stunning collection of gem and minerals. The green one is a fluorescent mineral. If you walk into our mineral room, that's a very dull gray looking rock. When you turn the fluorescent lights on, it becomes nice, beautiful fluorescent green there. I've got a piece of petrified wood with crystals, some more crystals here, and of course we have a 450-pound amethyst, which is pretty cool. Some more minerals there. An ammonite, and some more crystals here. Crystals form in lots of different ways. Some are cubical, some are spherical. There's just a wide variety of crystals, so they're pretty amazing. And we have literally a good dozen cases with minerals, with crystals, and all sorts of kinds of rock specimens. By the way, today is National Rock Day. In our Native American area, we have the depiction of what would be the family dwelling area of the Yokuts, and those were the local Native Americans that were here in the valley. This is, they have their canoe, the fish trap, their fire pit, their hut over here, their hides are hanging down here, there's some beef jerky simulated there to be hanging down and drying. The tules were used very frequently. They were used for almost everything. They not only ate them, but they also used them for bedding, clothing, huts, everything. The mural over here depicts the rock art that they were doing. And in the next slide, you'll, well, no, not next slide. Anyway, these were some of the tools that they made and used. This is how an arrowhead gets started and the shards that come off of it. And we've got a canoe over here made out of tules. And of course, you've got a grinding stone. Here you go. It's the rock art. This is rock art that was painted by an artist. And this depicts some of the rock art that you find out in the caves in Carrizo Plains. In addition to that, the Native Americans used a lot of medicines. And so we also have our whole, our Native American medicine cabinet. You can look at the different herbs. You can dial in what type of symptoms you have, and it tells you what kind of herbs they would use to have taken care of that ailment. We have lots of programs for kids. We have science camp. We have our ozone, which is an exploratory area. Lots of hands-on. As you can see, the kids here are from science camp, but they're down in our ozone having lots of fun. Exploring areas, lots of different interactive type of exhibits in that area. This is our newest exhibit, the iSandbox. It's an interactive sandbox, so it's 16 programs. They all are tied to science-based information and principles. As you can see, this young lady is moving the sand, and as she moves the sand is going to change colors due to the height of it. There's lots of different programs, as I said, to have fun with the kids. A lot of eye-hand coordination helps them learn many of the science principles. This young lady is looking at a topography map. So you've got water, and then you've got the different layers and heights of elevation to the hill that's there. We also have docents who do a lot of our school tours and science demonstrations. This is Fred Hallmark doing a science demonstration on physics here, and the kids just absolutely love him. And this is another young man who is working on gears. This is one of our first Saturday programs. Every first Saturday of the month, we have a program just for kids. And it's designed for them and their parents to come and have a lot of fun. More of our different projects that happen with the kids. We've got robots, art, we've got all sorts of kinds of science experiments. This young lady is working with grapes and marshmallows and making her project. I think they ate it afterwards, and I was just having lots of fun with that. We also partner with lots of different organizations, but this one here is the BPD, showing the kids how to do fingerprinting in our CSI class. And then we also have guided tours out to Sharktoothe Hill area where you can actually find your own fossils. We have specific areas that can be dug in, and we show you how to find the bone bed and where to look for fossils that would come from that area. We have special days. The family day is the first Saturday of the month. 6 children and 2 adults is only $20. Our senior days is the second day of the month, or second Saturday of the month, and it's only $2 for seniors. We have a $2 day for anybody, and that is on the 3rd Thursday of the month. We also have group rates for groups, adults and children. We're part of the Museum for All, and we're also a Blue Star Museum, which means that anyone that is in the military or has, or past retired military, a veteran gets to come into the museum free along with their family. We're also a member of the Association of Science and Technology Centers, and this is a reciprocal where 600 other museums throughout the world, our members can go to those museums free. And we also have a reciprocal with our local museums too. I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen today. Oh, one other little factor, the fossil that you see to the right, that's a saber-toothed cat, and that is the California state fossil. We do have the California state fossil, rock, mineral, all here on display so that kids can also, and even adults can learn about that. And that will conclude my sharing today.
Thank you, Coral. And I've had the chance to check out that virtual sandbox, and it's definitely a must-see. It's so much fun. So our next speaker is the Director of California Living Museum, Megan Maitland.
All right, so as I said, I am the director for the California Living Museum. California Living Museum, or CALM, as we call it out here, was established in 1983 and was bought out by, or purchased by Kern County Superintendent of Schools in 1995. So we have seen a lot of changes over the years. So I'm just going to go through and kind of explain to you guys what CALM is if you haven't got a chance to be out here before, and get to know the different facets of the zoo and things like that. So we are a living museum / zoo. The reason we also add on the word zoo to this is because we are a member of the Zoological Association of America. So we like to look at ourselves in two different ways. We are a museum. The animals that you get to see here, you get to learn about and understand, you know, how they impact the ecosystem, different parts like that. But we are also a zoo. So that means we collaborate with other zoos across the country to make sure that we are keeping up to date with, you know, different zoological requirements. We are a wildlife rehabilitation center, an education center, an event center, and a holiday lights host. So when you're looking at the zoo itself, we have over 14 acres of viewing areas, picnic spots. We always encourage guests to come in and really just take the day, have lunch with your family, and just enjoy the different rest areas that we have throughout the zoo. All of the animals here are native to California. The majority of plants here are also native to California. That is one thing that sets us apart, is that our hope and mission for the zoo is that is that when you come to CALM, you are being able to see the animals that you would normally see in your backyard. A lot of times people, you know, would go on a hike and have no idea, you know, what they see out there as they're hiking around California. And so our hope here is that you get to see and learn about the animals that are in your own backyard. We are part of a breeding and conservation programs as well. So if you've been out to CALM, you've seen our California condors. We are part of a conservation program for them. They are critically endangered. And then if you've got to see our desert bighorn sheep, the population that we have now represents 10% of the desert bighorn sheep population. They are threatened as well. And so every couple of years, they'll be participating in a breeding program. I think about 2 years ago, we had some babies born here, but we are part of that genetic breeding program as well. When you come to the zoo, we have a lot of different facets. We have a California coast room, which is just a little glimpse into what kids could see on a California coast. There is a touch tank with anemones and sea stars and a lot of different kinds of crabs, things like that, as well as a jellyfish tank and some seahorses. We have a reptile house that is home to reptiles and amphibians that you'll be able to see all throughout California. So if your kiddo's at home and picks up a lizard, our hope is that when you get to see it, you could say, oh, I saw one of those at CALM, and this is a XYZ lizard, you know. Hopefully they don't do that with snakes, but that's kind of the same thing as well. We have raptors, not dinosaurs, big birds. Essentially, we've got golden eagles and different kinds of red shoulders, just a variety of different birds here. Big cats, so we have bobcats and mountain lions, bears, and a lot of other animals. I won't go through all of them, but we have over 275 animals in our collection right now. So all of our animals cannot be released into the wild, which is why they are here at CALM. The vast majority of them came through our wildlife rehabilitation program, which I'll go into now. So we have a wildlife rehabilitation center in Bakersfield. So we have a wildlife rehabilitation center that sees over 800 animals yearly. Our goal is always that the animals get released, but we do have a lot of animals that can't be released for various reasons. As you walk around the zoo, you'll see some, we call them our handy capable birds, and different animals that, you know, could be missing eyes or missing wings or things like that, and we give them a chance to finish out their lives at CALM. But as I mentioned, we see over 800 animals a year. They're not just birds. So the pictures you see here are actually ones from this year. So on the left, you see great horned owls. They came in, their parents unfortunately lost their lives, and so we were able to raise them, and they got released last week. And then we have a red shoulder hawk that was a very similar situation. The parents were deceased, and so it was brought in, and we were able to release that about 2 weeks ago as well. So some of the animals that are non-releasable will become ambassador animals here. So what you'll see when you come to the zoo is docents, which are our educationally trained volunteers that will walk around with some of our animals and give you kind of their backstory, talk about how they are critical to the environment and how we can help conserve those animals as well. So our education opportunities, because we are part of KCSOS, we see over 20,000 Kern County students every year. We also work with homeschooling programs to bring kids in and really just help educate them about the animals that are in their backyards. So some things you might see during your trip here, if you get to come for an education side, is docent and keeper talks. So our keepers will come out and let you know about the animals that they work with directly, let you know how they got their degrees to be able to work with those animals. And then our docents will walk around with a variety of different animals and, like I said, give you their backstories, let you know why they're important to the environment. We also work very closely with the Central California Children's Railroad and offer train rides in different parts, so that if your kiddo or you are interested in how trains work, that's an option for here as well. And then we also offer a CALM-based curriculum that will kind of tie into what you're learning about, whether it's natural sciences or environmental sciences, different things like that. It's all tied in together during your trip at CALM. We are also an event center. So we host birthday parties, weddings, special events, and you can also request to have animals at those special events. If your guests are into wanting to learn about animals as well, we can have those as part of your events. And if you haven't got to come out for Holiday Lights, that is one of our biggest events. Is we have over 3 million energy efficient lights displayed starting November 30th up till I think it's like January, I want to say 9th, every year, where we just invite the community to come out and be part of the festivities and really just be part of the zoo in that facet as well. So right now we are closed due to COVID. We're not sure, you know, what that's going to look like in terms of reopening. We're just trying to make sure the public is safe and all of our animals are being well taken care of and are very, you know, happy and doing well. But when we do get to open, just to give you guys a heads up, our ticket prices are $10 for adults, $7 for children, $6 for children ages 3 to 12. Children under 3 are free, and U.S. military and veterans are always free here at CALM. If you're wanting to learn more about us, you can contact us and reach us at calmzoo.org. We also have an Instagram page and a Facebook page, and that's all of our addresses and information. Because we are close, we are having keepers do keeper talks on Facebook. So if you're missing some of your favorite animals here at CALM, or you're just wanting to learn more, we do have a lot of keeper talks that are available to you on Facebook as well. So that about sums us up. There's a lot to CALM, but we encourage you guys when we can to have y'all out here just to see it for yourselves and really be part of our CALM community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Meg. And Holiday Lights was actually ranked among the 10 best zoo light shows in the US, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely a must-see for all our visitors if they're coming around that time. And then that reptile room is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, so our next speaker is the curator curator of collections from the Kern County Museum, Bethany Rice.
Hi, and it looks like my virtual background isn't working, so we're just gonna skip right to the PowerPoint there. So hold on just a second. Here we go. So hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. I know we've heard a bunch, so stick with me. Can we all see the PowerPoint okay?
Yes, it looks great.
Fantastic, awesome. So just a little bit about Kern County Museum. The mission statement for the Kern County Museum is to, let me see if I can, there we go, celebrate the history and culture of Kern County and preserve our, are we still, there we go, preserve our history. So today we're gonna talk about all the different aspects of the Kern County Museum and everything to do with that. So before we get started though, a history of the museum. We've been around for almost 100 years. So donations started appearing at the Chamber of Commerce building in 1929. And you can see at the top of the screen there, that long building behind the clock tower is actually the original Chamber of Commerce for Bakersfield. So collections started coming in, and in fact, we got so many objects that we pushed the chamber out. So the chamber had to start their own place downtown, and the museum was founded in 1941, but due to World War II and resource things and that sort of thing, it didn't actually open until 1945. So then you were able to go in and see the artifacts and things that had been collected there. So in 1929, they had sent this letter out to the community and said, we'd love, you know, stuff that shows the history of Bakersfield or the history of Kern County. And they sent in images just like you see here, like the Lakeview Gusher that was in Taft, or this is one of the first buildings that was on North Chester. So we've got some incredible imagery of that. So all of that was from community residents, and that's mostly what we have in our collections, are these great donations over the years. So I keep saying collections, so I'll mention those really quickly. So the object collection, of course, all of the historical artifacts you see around the museum, and that includes things from baby carriages to old wheelchairs to outfits, anything you could think of that you use on a daily basis, truly. And the other two collections, major ones that we have, are our historical photograph collection. And we are actually one of the largest photograph repositories in the state. I know, not really. You don't think of that, do you? But we have over 400,000 images. So, and that's of Kern County, things that happened in it, historical things, just an incredible collection. And we offer these to researchers on an appointment basis too. So our third collection is our archives, and you can see that picture on the right there with our previous curator is looking through all of these boxes. So these boxes are what hold these archives and these photographs in this Bakersfield, California Research Center on our campus. So you can come and look at maps or ledgers and all of these different artifacts from the last 100, 200 years of Kern County history all throughout, which is so exciting. So where are all these collections, you ask? Where are all these objects laid out for us to see? So the Pioneer Village is one piece of the Kern County Museum. We have actually 16 outdoor acres with over 50 structures, and that's different buildings that have been brought in from all over Kern County. Some of them are original pieces, so like the Howell home was always the Howell house. Some of them were storage buildings that were converted to create these restorations that we have on campus. So super fun to go and check out. Bring a water bottle, bring a picnic, just to have a fun day exploring all around there. Our Era Energy Gallery is our main inside exhibit. So that's one of the ones that's closed right now due to COVID. So our Pioneer Village is open, yay, but the Era exhibit is closed, unfortunately. When it reopens, you're able to kind of view the timeline of Kern County history. So you can walk through and see when Kern County was founded, how Bakersfield was done, these Chinatowns that we had, mining, all these different aspects of Kern County history. So that's our Era Gallery. Some more of the exhibits that we have on our campus are the Bakersfield Sound. So Bakersfield is famous for, of course, Bakersfield Sound, our country music stars. We've got an incredible collection in our main area. So that's closed right now due to COVID. However, you can see Merle Haggard's birth home, or I should say his childhood home. And so that was actually brought in from Oildale, and you can view the windows and see how it was all set up when he lived in it growing as a child. More of our exhibits. A major one is our Black Gold of the Oil experience. And we know Kern County is a major oil county. So we've got an incredible walkthrough exhibit where you can see how we pull oil up from the ground, how it's refined, how it's been done over the years, and the historical kind of things and tools that they use to do that, and how they do it now too. So right now our indoor experience is closed, but we've got all this stuff you can walk through. And this well, or I should say all this rig and derrick right here, you can go in this building and walk all the way through here because it's all outdoors. So open air, social distancing, of course, but definitely come and check it out. So another couple of our exhibits are the Neon Courtyard. So that is beautiful day or night. It is all the old neon signs from Bakersfield and Kern County all over. And this is actually available to rent too. So anything you see on our Kern County Museum campus is available for rentals. You can have a wedding there. You can do a dinner, a party. It's a really great place to kind of come together and hang out in this incredible aura of this old time Bakersfield feel. So this other exhibit we've got down here is our Tejon Ranch Gallery. Right now we've got an incredible photograph depiction on display from an incredible American landscape photographer, Charlton E. Watkins, who I'm sure you've heard of before. It's actually closed, of course, due to COVID, but once that is open up again, that'll be changing quarterly. So we will have new exhibits for you to come on down throughout the year and see what Bakersfield and Kern County history we have. One of our newest exhibits is one of my actual favorites, is the Raymond Watson Transportation. We've got a lot of videos of this one online, so it is indoors, so it's actually closed, but definitely check out our Facebook page and our YouTube channel and you can kind of get a tour of it. So this houses 40 horse-drawn and early motorized vehicles. I mean, I can't even. There's stagecoach wagons, there's Surrey top coaches, there's an old fire extinguisher, one of the original ones from Bakersfield, and the fire trucks that go with it, pole wagons and carts, but just incredible. Highly recommend checking out the videos until we can get that opened up again. And especially to our Lori Brock Discovery Center. So I keep mentioning all these collections and ways to explore, and they're great family activities, but the Lori Brock Discovery Center is perfect for the children. So this is where they can kind of do hands-on, of course, you know, once we're open again, they can have more hands-on activities. But there's a STEAM town. So there's these science things, these art and music experiences that have been donated by local sponsors all around town and the county, which is incredible. We'll have a power lab coming soon so they can discover how electricity happens and how all of that just comes to life around us, which is great. You can definitely sign up for a field trip or a tour anytime. We've got a lot of programs for kids, and you can see we've got summer camps usually ongoing. Of course, this year we had to put a hold on it, but this is from previous years, and you can see the kids were having a lot of educational fun. The tours and field trips over here on the left, this is actually inside the Norris Schoolhouse, the original Norris Schoolhouse that's set on Callaway and Norris right there. So that was moved from there, taken to the Kern County Museum, and it is, you can walk through it. Those kids are sitting in the original desks, which is not something you can really capture all the time. So that's what makes this museum really special and puts you in the moment in the history. So those are ongoing exhibits, all of our during the year sort of things. Definitely check out our calendar of events. We've also got daily things like yoga that you can sign up for when COVID's not going on, and different things like that. However, our annual events are a huge deal. So Village Flea is that, those two pictures right there on the right. We do that once in the spring and once in the fall. It's an outdoor vintage market where people can sign up, bring in their own stuff, bring handmade items, and then you can walk through the historical village too. So it's a really fun vibe for that day. It's always a great, great laugh too, to have all of these people kind of exploring, and oh, it's a blast. Our Safe Halloween is another one. So that's where the kids can come in. There's over 50 different spots that they can stop at historical homes, get candy, dress up, all sorts of costume contests and wonderful different things going on. The Haggard Boxcar Music Festival is our big adult event every year, and that is exactly what it sounds, a big music festival. And so that's our country music stars, our local talent that we really like to highlight. We definitely highly recommend checking that out. Had to put a pause on it, of course, this year, but it will be an annual event moving forward. Our annual lecture series is another big one. So this series is moving forward, yay! So regardless of COVID, these things are happening. These lectures might be outdoors, but they will definitely be available online. Our first one will kick off in September with the history of the Zion Church. That's actually a church that's been in Bakersfield for over 100 years, and that's it right there, one of the historical photos. We'll then go on to the history of Kern County through postcards. I love this lecture. I've seen this lecture, and it is all these awesome images. That's actually, I think, the courthouse. It's one of the major buildings right here in Bakersfield. And Stan Wilson does a great job going through all of those. I will be talking about haunted places and ghost towns in Kern County, so that'll be a lot of fun leading into Halloween. In November, we've got a view from Ridge Route with Bonnie Kane. So that is actually the road from the Grapevine. So from LA to Bakersfield, it used to be Ridge Route before it was the Grapevine, and it was a crazy road. So she's got incredible images and stories from people that used to ride that. Then we've got a guest speaker from CSUB, our very own Douglas Dodd, and he will be talking about public buildings and government camps. And of course, our executive director, Mike McCoy, will be talking about the Kern brothers in December to finish us up. So like I said, we'll make these available. They might be outside, they might be online, but either way, we're partying hard with these ones. As I mentioned, we are open under phase 2 guidelines, which is really exciting. So if you don't have a lot to do at home, definitely bring the kids, make a day of it, bring a picnic lunch, have them run that energy out and get a lot of educational information while you're checking out these historic buildings and the setups we have inside. We are open from Wednesday to Sunday, 9 to 4. So there is no admission at 3 p.m. You don't want to come after 3 anyways, because then you won't capture the whole thing. You want to capture the whole 16 acres. It's a big adventure. So definitely come on down early, check it out. As the other museums mentioned ahead of me with reciprocal admission, we offer that as well and all sorts of things. Check out our website for more information on that. If you are interested in renting any of these grounds that you see, maybe the wedding outside the gazebo or something like that, contact Brenna and her information is right there, or check out our website. So I keep mentioning, you know, we've got some things closed. We've been fortunate enough to stay open for our outdoors, but we've definitely increased our online offerings now that we've been closed. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can see our Lori Brock at-home crafts. So really simple, easy to do things for the kids. And then our hometown history videos are a great new series that we are exploring a building or an artifact or something that the community hasn't got to see a bunch of before. So we will be exploring that and showing you guys kind of behind the scenes and little things like that. So lastly, we are inviting the community to make history with us. This is a crazy time right now, I think we can all agree. So one thing the Kern County Museum would like to do is make sure we're capturing that, create a full narrative, a full historical record of everything that's going on, and we love to invite the community to help us do that. So we've got our Preserve the Protest campaign that's going on. We invite people to drop off artifacts, or there's a questionnaire online to talk about experiences, and that's any protest. So for mass, against mass, for BLM, against BLM, for patriot rallies, again, you know, anything. We've had historical stuff going on, and we want to make sure we capture everything. The next campaign we'll have is capturing COVID in Kern. So we will be releasing a questionnaire and a booklet actually for kids as well. It's kind of specialized towards 18 and under. So we can capture perspective and insight on how people are handling coronavirus in Kern County and what happened with schools, what happened, you know, just your daily experience, how you're celebrating birthdays, that sort of thing. So we want to make sure we preserve all this history so future generations can learn from it too. So definitely check out our website to learn more about that, or reach out to us with any questions. And I think that pretty much wraps me up. We've got a lot going on at the Kern County Museum all the time. So there's always going to be more stuff. If you have any questions, let us know in the Q&A, and definitely check out the website, like I said.
Thank you, Bethany. We've definitely been enjoying the your tours that you're sharing on your social media pages.
Oh, fantastic.
Very informative. Okay, so at this time, we're going to open up for questions. You can use the Q&A feature here on Zoom, and so you can submit your questions. If you have anything, now is the time to ask all our panelists anything that you're wondering about a specific museum, or you can ask all of them, whatever you want. So we'll wait to see if anybody has any questions. Okay, so we have David asked, I enjoyed all of the presentations today. Ms. Rice referred to a Kern County Museum building as the former home of the Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. I believe the building was actually the former home of the Kern County Chamber of Commerce, which later became the Kern County Board of Trade.
Yep, absolutely. So that's something we don't have time to have a 15-minute lecture on right now, but thank you, David, for capturing that and making sure we make everybody aware of that one. Great point.
Yes, thank you, David. Okay, anyone else? Okay, I think you ladies did a great job at answering everything about your museum. So if you have any questions, please be sure to reach out to each one. You have their contact information. If not, we'll send that afterwards to you. Let's see. So I want to thank you all for joining us today for our first Visit Bakersfield webinar and our virtual museum trail. I hope you received a lot of great information about our wonderful museums to share with your colleagues and visitors. We will be sending out a recording of this webinar for your reference to share with your colleagues that were not able to attend this morning. But we want to encourage you to visit our website if you need any additional information. We also have our Bakersfield Museum Trail on our website, and I will send that link as well. As always, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Tuesday.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.